Hey guys, question is can video games help you become a better protector, warrior, or whatever? There's tons of different video games out there. Black Ops 1 and Call of Duty 1 through Infinity, however many are out. Obviously, you can tell in the last few seconds that I am not a gamer, but I have friends who are. And anyway, I wanted to talk about a couple of things. One, on my YouTube channel, somebody responded with this. I'm going to be reading from my computer screen. He says, "This guy thinks he's awesome," talking about me. In WROL, I guess that means something real world, he would be prey, like animal prey. And then he goes on, he's like, "Look me up on Xbox and PlayStation. I'm a war hero. We can clan battle anytime you think you're ready. Google my gamer plan, one-man army. I'll make a man out of you, kitten." And I think the second comment wasn't directed at me, and I don't know whether this guy is for real or not. But either way, I know there's folks out there that say this who are for real, and I guess I don't get punked out or threatened a whole lot. But this one was awesome. I really like this. Then something else came down my Facebook feed the other day. Johnny Trout, and he's upset because somebody has flirted with his girlfriend, and so Johnny's ticked off, and he's like, "Listen, man, I don't know whether this is a joke or not. It looked authentic, so look it up and you be the judge." But he's like, "You think you can just flirt with another man's girlfriend? Oh yeah? Call of Duty 1, Call of Duty 2, Modern Warfare, Black Ops 1, and he goes on, and there's this litany of different war games. He says, all advanced scenarios that taught me how to kill with precision or whatever else. So back off." And he gets really upset and whatnot. And I just thought it was adorable. I thought it was awesome. Anyway, just kind of a little warm up. Can video games help you become a better protector? I think there are some good pros and some good cons. And really, I'm not a gamer, so I really just have to, a priori think about something. I've read some books on this subject. One was Boys Adrift, which was really, really helpful. I forgot the author. But anyway, really cool book that talks about video games and boys and stuff. And I say boys, now apparently statistically speaking, women are almost as likely to be gamers as guys when you talk about video game consoles and stuff that you can play on mobile devices. Women are, right there with dudes. I think the average video game player is 35 years old and spends an average of 16 hours a week on it. So let me go through some pros and cons of what video games can and can't do. And if I forget anything, guys, comment below. I'm learning on this subject too, obviously. This is outside of my expertise, obviously. I teach people how to fight, protect for a living. That's all I do. Though I've never, ever heard of any trainer recommending, all right, guys, you need to get the right gun and equipment. You need to do some dry fire. You need to get pro training. You need to get Call of Duty 2, not 3. And then, never... I've missed that block of instruction. Anyway, here's some good pros. Video games can be a fun diversion and maybe give you some benefits, but it can also ruin your life. So let's look at the pros and cons so that we can use video games responsibly and we don't drift off into some socially awkward, disconnected land where we waste our whole lives. So here we go. Here's some pros. One, lets you, I think, veg out and recharge. I got into... a Lego video game. This was years ago, and my wife still makes fun of me about it, but it's Lego Lord of the Rings. And I stayed up, I think I played 7 hours straight. I'm so ashamed to admit that. And some of you gamers were like, "What? That's like a normal Tuesday for me." Well, still, for me, that was pretty intense. And I remember when I was a little kid, I played Street Fighter 2 because I had mono, and I had played Street Fighter 2 for like 2 weeks straight. So that's kind of my big video game binges of my life. But anyway, I just kind of got sucked in, and I had to find all the coins in the whole game, or life couldn't go on for me. So anyway, I got rid of that game. But it was a fun veg out and recharge. Dudes, when we get home from work or whatever else, you just want to disconnect and not think about anything. So I know as a guy, it's cool to be able to veg out, and oftentimes Netflix or something will be some diversion before I jump in and start hanging out with family. But really, I guess nowadays with 2 little kids, a 2 and a 4-year-old boy, my time's not my own, and I don't have time for video games. Regardless, veg out and recharge. 2, it can be real fun community, I think. If you and your friends get together and y'all play that for a responsible amount of time, I guess that could be a good thing. 3, it's neat in some of these video games. So like I posted a video where I was shooting just a whole a bunch of different automatic weapons, and some of the video gamers, they knew everything about them. I didn't know anything. And, you know, it's like they knew more than I did. I'm like, rock on, that's cool. And some of your history of different battles and some of the tactics of how those battles underwent. I mean, I think there's some learning value that you can learn there from war games. Another thing is hand-eye coordination. And there's a couple shooters out there that have blazing fast trigger fingers, meaning that, you know, they're 0.03, 0.05 seconds faster than me, and they'll say, video games, man. Like, roger that. Anyway, so there's some pros. Now let's look at the cons. One is it can lead to a sedentary lifestyle. That means you're sitting around eating Cheetos playing video games for 10 hours straight. You're going to get fat out of shape, and that's not a very good thing. And that's going to make a cycle of all kinds of depression and whatnot. It's not good for you physically. Two, it can rob you of ambition. Guys, you know, and gals, we want to accomplish. We want to do something with our lives. But you're not going to go out and do something great, because really after playing video games, you may feel like you've already accomplished something great. I mean, why go out and get a job? Don't you just realize I saved the galaxy a moment ago from intergalactic war? I found the skeleton sword and got 30,000 rupees. I'm doing pretty well in my mom's basement. So why keep going? It can rob you of ambition. There's a kid I know who didn't want to go out for football because he could play football on his video game, and he really didn't see the difference. Another thing, 3, it can make you socially awkward and disconnected. As you spend so much time in this fictitious fantasy world, you start to believe that the pixels on the television are real life, and what you do during school and apart from the video games, that's really the fictional stuff, and you can't wait to kind of get back. It's like you're flip-flopped, but you become more and more disconnected from everyone, socially awkward, which creates a vicious cycle. 4, it can be just a colossal waste of time. 16 hours a week? Are you kidding? That's a decent part-time job. What could you be doing instead of video games? So I'm not against video games or anything else like that per se, but I'm just saying there's a real opportunity cost. There's a good economics term for you. The opportunity cost of playing video games when you could have been doing something else, like building relationships or getting good pistol skills. I mean, pushing the A button quickly to shoot, or learning how to actually shoot and defend somebody. Very, very, very different. And you could be the best shooter in the world on a video game, and you will suck in real life until you shoot in real life. Very good. The last one, it can desensitize you to the reality of killing. And I'm just imagining this where, you know, when people die in a video game, it's no big deal. But I wonder how many folks are being desensitized to all kinds of things. Like, but maybe that one's overhyped. Maybe it's not. But there is some statistical reports on where little kids haven't been able to separate fact from fiction and actually doing some pretty heinous things. So anyway, hope you guys have enjoyed this. Weigh in, comment below, like or dislike or share or whatever else you want. I'm not against gaming. Game. But if you want to be a good protector, put the video games down and actually get some training, okay? Take it easy, guys. Warrior poets, train hard, but train smart. And train in real life. See you guys.